Now, Mrs. Serah Munyiri, karibu sana.
Thank you so much for having me, Captain.
This is very interesting. So I want you to feel that you are in the right place, and thank you for finding time to come and speak to us on behalf of, in conjunction with the Diaspora One Voice Consortium. Welcome. Say hello to our viewers and introduce yourself.
I want to take this opportunity to say hello to all the viewers from United States and all around the globe. I am so happy to be here. I'm so also very excited and happy that you are watching us, or you are watching us from wherever you are. It's such a great honor to be hosted by Captain on this program. It's a great program. We all watch it. And it's a very resourceful program. My name's Mrs. Serah Munyiri. I am a mother and a wife, and I live in New Jersey. I've lived in New Jersey for the last 20 plus years. So I call New Jersey home for me because majority of my adult life, I have lived here. Mm-hmm. And beside that, originally I was born in Othaya, Kenya, in a place called Garo, in Chiga location. And, I went to school there, and then for my high school, I went to school in a place called Nanyuki, in a high school called Moikuta Girls. And from there, I came right here. I didn't get an opportunity to further my education there. I came immediately. So here in New Jersey, I am blessed to have a family of my own and an extended family within the community. The Kenyans here work together. They are very united. And I am one of the community leaders that work within the community to organize the community and to ensure that we move forward in one unison. And with that, on behalf of Kenyan in New Jersey, mm-hmm. and also Kenyan in the United States, I want to also take this opportunity to introduce an organization that has been put forward. And it's an organization that is an umbrella for all the other small organizations that are there. Not to say that our other organizations are small, but this particular organization is called Diaspora One Voice Consortium. And the main agenda for Diaspora One Voice Consortium is to put all of us fragmented everywhere, all the small organizations that are out there in one, to speak in one voice.
Very good.
Speak in one voice for all Kenyans in diaspora. And when we say diaspora, we don't just mean in the United States. We mean anyone who is not living in Kenya. If you live in Ghana, if you live in Uganda, if you live in Eastern Europe, Asia, wherever you are diaspora because you don't live home. And if there's any organization that is striving to help our people, to work with the community, we want to be able to speak in one voice. Mm-hmm. And so if you are out there, reach out to me, reach out to any other leader who is a member of One Voice, and let us join hands, because when we join together, we'll be able to move forward. We'll be able to move forward strongly. So wow. On behalf of One Voice, I am very, very pleased to be here.
Wow, thank you so much. Welcome, Mrs. Serah Munyiri, from all the way from Kenya, living in New Jersey and working for the community. Let me ask you something very important. We are in February, and this is they call it the Black History Month. You have stayed in this country. You have your children here. They are going to school here. They are doing everything here. And there's so much that is going on. I don't know what is your message after living in this country for that time. what is your message to the Kenyan parent who is watching you as far as the milestones and what we need to achieve and what we need to celebrate, what we need to enjoy, or what we need to do so that we can enjoy living in this country that we call home?
And I'm so glad you brought that question forward, because I'm a mother, and I am a mother of a college student, a mother of a middle school student, a mother of a third grader, and a kindergartner. So really, I wear hats for most parents who are out there. And one thing that is very important for any parent, it is when you're raising your kids, you obviously will do your best, but also enjoy the time that you're spending with them. There are many ways that we can raise our kids, and they will turn out differently. In psychology, there are three different ways, main ways. There's a passive way, there's authoritarian, and authoritative. Choose to use the method that will work with your children. And one of them, it's needed to be able to treat them with dignity and be able to have a discussion with them in a way that as they grow, they'll be close to you. They'll be able to tell you what is happening in their lives. Fight time. I know a lot of parents come here and if they, we all have to work 2 or 3 jobs to make the ends meet. But even if you have to work that many hours, you have to realize that your first job is your kids. And there's nobody else who can raise your kids better than yourself. So find time. When you have time, it's not just being home, because you can be home and you are actually not spending time with your kids. Find a way to be able to sit down with your kids and talk to them. There is so much that is happening with our kids nowadays through social media, through school. We all know as, Black people, there's so much that our kids are exposed to and they go through. Find time to be able to talk to them and discuss issues with them. And if you find that they have a problem, reach out for help them. I want to also mention that as a founder of Epad, I found that there's a gap with our children. Because when we are here, it is very easy for us adults to find friends. It's very easy for us to be able to interact with each other. It's very easy for us to even be able to network. But our kids are born by us, who happen to be foreigners, and they are born here in this country, so they are Americans. So they have to wear a hat as an American, and they also have to live like a Kenyan, because in their house, majority of, the way you are raising them, you're almost raising them as a Kenyan. Or rather, there's a lot of culture stuff that you carry around. The food, the language, the dressing, you want them to wear a Kenyan flag or whatever, all these things that they are good, they're great. But I realized as my kids grew older, they needed to find their tribe. They needed to find kids who have similar circumstances as my kids. And I saw a gap in the kids who are older than my kids. And that's how I decided we as parents needed to find something that can bring our kids together so that they can know each other, we can guide them, and they can also be able to create a community that can support themselves now, each other now, or even when they grow older. And that's what Epad is striving to do.
Awesome.
Create a community.
Thank you. Let me put an issue there because you mentioned something very important. By the way, for those who are coming in, thank you so much. I want to appreciate all our viewers and all our new people who just came in today because of their connection with Mrs. Serah Munyiri. I want to make sure that we enjoy and we feel that we are in the right place. This is the Trumpet of Hope Ministry that is based here in Texas, USA, and we do speak hope, and we that is That is our main mission. Let us bring in people who can show that whatever they are doing is changing lives. And every Wednesday we have these Diaspora Consortium guests, and it becomes very good. And Petina, John, Joseph Mushina, thank you so much. Diana Kamande, HSC, thank you so much. You're doing a very good job, and I know that the widows and orphans in Kenya are living positively because of whatever you're doing. Jehia Wakulia Dagitari, our very own doctor, thank you so much. Hey, Jehia Daktari, there's something I wanted to ask you because I saw somebody deciding to use a gorilla glue to do whatever in the hair. Anyway, I'm telling you, we have come from very far. I'm telling you. Please don't use a gorilla glue on your hair, on your head. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. My goodness. Whatever we see in this world. The other one is Nganga. Thank you so much. Eunice Major, asante sana. You're doing a very good job. And say hello to Robert. True, I love that. Our kids need to find their tribe. And that is very important. That is Teresia Njoroge. Wabui Roda Kamau, asante sana. Shairo Wadi, karibu sana. Ann Petina, asante sana. Sabri Flo Jacinta. So true, my dear sister Serah Munyiri. Good morning, evening, Captain Joragawa Jerry. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Rahab Makena Remax, thank you so much. Nice to see you. Shiko Patrick, asante. Ruth Mberi, thank you so much. Irongo Jane, Daktari, asante sana. Good to see you. Sarah, a dynamic leader and sister. Love working with her. A powerhouse. Asante sana. Now, let us put the real picture that you saw. Some people may not be able to, to comprehend what our children born by the Kenyan or the immigrant parent, and sometimes we take through some hard times. You go to church, we are speaking in Gikuyu. You go for a fellowship, we are speaking in Gikuyu and eating getheri and mokimo. When their parents die, we are working very hard to buy a plot, or rather to invest like I'm doing here, and then we get a burial place in Kenya, and they are here. How will they be going to Kenya to lay a flower on their dad's or their mom's funeral or graveside? Can you please give us this, open this picture to us so that we can take it serious?
Thank you. The truth is, after you have lived here 20, 30 years, there are still people who will go back. But the truth is, you may not be the one. You may not be one of those who will go back. Because you can go back to visit, but going back to live there when you are advanced in age, these days people are living up to 100 or more. When you are advanced in age, you need support. You need medical services. You need your people close to you. I feel that when we lose those closest to us, especially our parents, Kenya lacks meaning. You have siblings and you can go see them, but you will feel that the next closest people to you, it is your kids. And since most of the time, usually they will carry US or Canada or wherever you are as their home, that will be their home. It's likely that you want to stay there because you have better medical services. Even if you go to a nursing home, of which I am encouraging people, we really need to figure that situation out because I don't want to learn how to eat macaroni and cheese in my advanced age. But even if you, even if you go to a nursing home, you are still better off here because your kids can at least, or grandkids, depending on how we raise them, they might come over on Sundays to see you, or once a year, or however. But moving to Kenya might not be an option to most of us. And even if we move to Kenya ourselves, think about it. Our kids are here to stay. They are raised here. They will get into possessions here. because that's what we are working hard. We are going to put them through college, or they are through college, and now they are young working adults. And our aim is for them to grab themselves hard. We want them in positions. We want them to take even the leadership. Look, we had Obama. We are already there. Obama is just like my child. He's a first generation child. So there's no way you are telling me that our kids who are going to school, they are becoming lawyers, they are becoming journalists, they are becoming they are nurses, they are doctors, that they will want to move back to Kenya for that plot. So buy plot, but you buy plot and it is almost, it won't. And I have a lot of plots, but I bought them before I realized that I am not moving back, at least not in the near future. If anything, Captain, we can move back after we retire and before we get to 80 or 85. Give yourself 5 years of living in Kenya. 65 to 75 there, maybe, depending on how your health is. Other than that, you will be here. And you can come and ask me, when you retire, another 40 years to come, most of us will be retiring or will have retired. And I want to see that Kenya Airways with people moving back. Leaving their kids here, I don't think it will happen. So let's focus on what we can do for our kids so that we can help them position themselves in a position where they can help each other. And we are doing this in Epad by getting the older kids, mentor the younger kids, getting the postgraduate student, come and mentor college students, working with all of you, the parents all over the country, to give us leads so that we can provide internship for those who are in college. If your company is hiring, it's, share that information so that we can share it with another child who is a licensed senior or a licensed, or a senior in college. Let's help each other. Network is very important. But if we are not united, if we don't have a community, we will not be able to share that information. Even if you had it, you wouldn't be able to share it.
Wow. That is very important. You mentioned two things that are very important. That is a community and united. I will still continue to press on the issue of our children. And this becomes very important, and especially when we need to know what they are watching, what they are doing, what they want in life. And I want to know, as Epad, that is empowering people of African descent, what are you doing, and what are the programs that you have to help the children and the parents, and even these African communities, so that they can be able to invest more in their children? What programs do you have?
We are very blessed because when we started, we started, getting in touch with colleges and universities that are within our leash. And we have continued to partner with administrators and professors who come back to speak to our kids. Since when we started, we have had maybe about 15 events. And in these events, we invite college, counselors or professors. We have invited psychologists to come and talk to our kids. We have invited even regular parents who have raised kids here to come and share their experiences with the parents. Our aim is to educate and support the kids and on how they can actually complete high school and complete college, and help them with leads on how they can get scholarships. Some parents also don't know that you can get financial aid. So we provide all that information and guidelines. And it has worked great because I hear a lot of success stories. I hear a lot of kids coming back to say how important it was for them to be in our program. Because look, some of us, we didn't even go to college here. So we don't know the processes on how a child can, can apply. And yes, we have high school counselors who are working with these kids, but sometimes the kids don't even get it. You know how teenagers are. So when you bring them to a group of other Kenyan Americans or other, because our events also have other Africans, they are told the same story together. And we have many people in the community who have donated their time to work with the students, to help them with essay writing, support them with SSAT, and other college application benefits that we offer to our kids. Now, it's hard to do this without including parents. And just mentioning how vital it is for us for the parents to be able to work with their kids and also work with us. Because if we work together with the parents, the process is smoother and it goes well.
Wow.
So like coming up on the 28th, February 28th, we have an event. And this event, we are inviting middle school students and first year and second year high schools students and their parents. The theme of the event that we have on February 28th, it's how to succeed in high school, because we have to start that far. If you go to other community, they start that far. And we want to start from middle school to encourage, to create a picture to these kids that your aim is to go to college or to go to a trade school after high school. Because if we don't help them attain education, it will be very difficult for them to succeed. I'm not saying that you can succeed without college education or going after high school, attending a trade school or something, but I know it is easier. It is a proven way that if you go to college, you'll get paid more and you are more likely to find a job after college than if you don't. So we want all our kids to go through the process of, high school, then college and graduate. Besides that, we also be sharing information on other programs that are available to help our kids along the way. Mm-hmm. There are so many programs that are available for African American children, and we fall under that category. Some of these programs are free. Some of them, parents just don't know. And nowadays, most of them are virtual. So you don't even have to leave. You just need to encourage your son or daughter to attend. And some of them are just on weekends. Some of them are being offered during summer. So I encourage everyone, even if you don't have kids that age, as a parent, join in. Let's come and listen in, because you will learn something. Every time you come to our programs, you will learn something. And our aim is just to help our children get through college, high school and college. And if you allow me, I would like to say where all this started.
Please do.
You know, I have a lot of friends, and I have some friends who are advanced in age. That means their kids are almost my age or a little bit younger than me. And I've seen the agony and the pain that parents go through when their kids go to drop out of high school in the third year or fourth year of senior year of high school. I have seen the pain that the parents go through when their kids don't attend college, or they pay for the first year and the kid just drop out. And sometimes it's nothing that you've done, nothing that you can do to make your child drop out like that. But as a group, as a community, if we team up together, that child will be, it's likely that they'll get a friend who is going to college, and they may be influenced to go back to college. We have people who are available and willing to just work with those kids who have dropped out of college. Mm-hmm. because our aim is just to help and to push everyone to go through college. And after that, they create a community that they can continue to support each other.
This is very good. One of the things that I have learned about you for the time that we have interacted is that you have a passion for the unity of the Kenyan community or the African community. You have that passion. It comes out of you. What drives you? And what do you see ahead of in the next few years for the immigrant community?
You know, I can say this is definitely my passion. I never knew that I had this passion, but a few years ago, I talked to my friend and we started a program that was still geared towards the youth. And what I know is that as a community, if we don't have young kids, if we don't have children, the community will die. Also, I know that if we have them and they're not progressing well, it will be a very difficult life for them. I know that if we help our kids grow together and succeed together, they'll be strong together. Mm-hmm. And that's really what drives me. I look at African nations right now. And when I look at African nations, I see how wealth we are, how wealth, how Africa is so rich, but yet our parents and people of Africa don't benefit from what we have. Yet, when I look at like Israel or other countries, even a lot of other countries, when I look at them, mm-hmm. they have people who advocate for their countries. They go to the Congress, they have formed pacts here, they donate to the political parties, they do whatever it takes so that they can advocate for their people because a certain company is selling clothes to Walmart and people in that country, the conditions are not good. You all of a sudden, a community, a factory is closed because they are not paying their people well, or they are not treating the people who are working in that particular industry well. Mm-hmm. If you reason out, Ireland, I guess, when President Biden became the president, he said Ireland has to be on the table when there is discussing foreign affairs. Why? Because the people from that country have formed a pact. They have formed themselves so that they can be able to discuss issues that are affecting their countries. If we don't unite our people, Africa will still continue being exploited. Will continue. Your mother will continue, or your grandkids, or whoever it's in Kenya. They will continue plucking that tea and coffee, and they will not get the benefits. They will continue doing all this hard work. We will continue getting oppressed. Let's support our kids. Let's create a community for them. If we had 5 Obamas, or we had, 10 of them, because in a few years we're going to have them, can you imagine where we would be, Captain? Can you imagine? They'll be able to advocate for our nation.
True.
They'll be able to advocate for our continent. And we are the mothers, we are the fathers, we are the parents. Let's look ahead. Let's think about our kids in 15 years. Those kids that I'm telling you that they are middle school right now or high school, in 15 years, they'll have masters. They'll be lawyers. They'll be working in Capitol Hills. So what do you want for them? They will make the biggest change in Africa. Only if we stay united, if we organize them and know they grow knowing that we belong to one nation, we belong to one continent. And so I'm not saying that they will never change. They are Kenyan Americans. They will never change. But we need to install the culture in them. We need to even be able to teach them some language or and love for Africa. And if you try to do that on your own, you can do it for your generation. But after you are gone, your kids will not be able to do it for their kids. But if they are united and they are one, it will never break. We'll always be that way. They will be knowing that June 12th, we have to celebrate Kenya. And everyone will be taking a day off to celebrate Kenya. And even their kids, they'll grow up knowing that. We must do it now because we are the ones who are caring for the next generation.
Aren't you so passionate? I love it. You know what I see? I see a lot of hope. I see a lot of hope. And I feel it in my blood. I feel it in my system. And I know that it's not lost. The question is, how do we get there? We are so divided. Right now, we are going through a process in Kenya, BBI, Tanga, tribal politics, issues of who is supporting who and who supports who, churches, economic blocks in the same country. I want to specifically speak about the Kenyans who are in the US. I don't know what is happening in Australia. I don't know what is happening to Kenyans who are in England. I don't know what is happening to Kenyans who are in China. I don't know. But if it is happening here in the US, then it must be happening somewhere else, whereby we cannot see eye to eye because I speak Gikuyu or my surname is Kamau or Tieno. We cannot see eye to eye because I support Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta who doesn't know me, or I support Raila Odinga who doesn't know me, or I support Ruto who doesn't even care about me, or he doesn't even know me. We are so divided. Do you see us coming together as a community of Kenyans in the diaspora and speaking in one voice? And I want to say thumbs up to Dr. Shiri and the team of the Diaspora One Voice Consortium.
I can see ourselves getting there. It has taken a while, but we are headed in the right direction. With Dr. Shiri and the organization that he has put together, I think we are headed there. And I want to encourage anyone and everyone who has an organization to reach out and join Diaspora One Voice so that we can be able to speak in one voice. That is where we need to start. That organization will change the way Kenyan government look at us. It will change the way they handle our business. That's it for Kenya. Now, I want to speak to the African American, the Kenyan Americans, me and other parents. We have to be the one who will drive the change. And the change will not come from the politics in Kenya. I love politics and I play politics all the time. But I know there's no change that Kenya will bring to us here in diaspora. I want to continue supporting the Kenyan government, whichever government goes. As long as they are doing the right thing, we support them. And when we are supporting our people, we are the second foreign currency earners in the country. Mm-hmm. We are supporting our people, we are supporting the government, we are supporting the country. But let's look on the other side. Look at yourself and your kids. Think about 50 years or 70 years or 100 years to come, you'll not be here. What are you going to leave behind for your kids here? I think we really need to focus on that because I know that generation will bring a bigger change to Kenya more than the change that we can be able to bring. And I said I like playing politics, but I always ask myself, every 4 years, we go back to the same thing. We go back and discuss what are we going, who are we picking, who are we donating for, who are we voting for, who are we telling our people about? But I always wonder, what are we getting ourselves? First of all, even when we do all this, our people are not benefiting because once they get to the government, they start campaign again for the next elections. Mm-hmm. So let's ask ourselves, as people who are born in Kenya and raised in Kenya and now living here, parents, talking to the parents, how are we benefiting? There is one thing that I always say, and I wish I could get champions who can champion this idea for us. All of us, or majority of us, are right now supporting kids in Kenya. You are supporting either siblings or nieces or nephews or just children who are very unfortunate, and you are educating them, you are paying even food for them, you buy clothes for them. And yet we cannot be allowed to bring those kids here, to raise them in an American way. We love them and adapt them, you know. And I say we are not allowed because for me to adopt a child in Kenya, I have to go live there for, I don't know, 2 years or 6 months or however. Yeah. How am I going to take care of my family here and be able to adopt a child who is an orphan in Kenya? They're making it impossible for Kenyans. Those rules should be for white, pure African American who are born here. But for us who know that we went through the education system in Kenya, you lived there for 20 or 30 years. You have your mother there. You face it there very often. You should be allowed to adapt by the virtue of the fact that you are adapting out of love. You are not adapting to come and sell a child or for abuse. If you've lived there and you have gone through the school system and you want to adapt and you've been helping that child, you should be allowed to adapt. They should not bring any blockage for us to adapt kids in Kenya.
Very true and very passionate. Very true.
If you're not born there, it's a different case. But, like I feel like I was born there, we should be allowed to adapt. At least if we can get champions to help us with that, that will be a way forward. I think that would definitely make a lot of people happy.
Mrs. Serah Munyiri, I feel you. And this is the kind of a discussion that we need to have and to hold. And I hope that the Embassy of the Republic of Kenya, somewhere in Washington, D.C., which is working with the Diaspora One Voice Consortium, you are listening to the cry of the Kenyan people who are in the diaspora. We would wish to. But as Mrs. Munyiri has just said, the challenge is, can we be able to speak as one voice? Can we be able to speak as one block? That when we call for a voice to go to a declaration, it is signed by everybody from the east to the west to the north to the south, and then that document goes. Look at the issues of Huduma number. Look at the issues of voting internationally. We are here. We need to vote. We need to get such papers. We need to know how we can even send our, even our resources, double taxation, and even, all these things. Anyway, there's a lot to do, but there is hope. I don't know what you have to say as we wind up at this particular segment and even prepare ourselves for a more discussion. I know that Dr. Shiri is somewhere. And please share with us the contacts of the Diaspora One Voice. For those who don't know, you can just go to the website and just search Diaspora One Voice Consortium. And I can see Professor Ndiangui somewhere. Please, you can write a comment down there on the contacts for Diaspora One Voice. Dr. Shiri, I saw you somewhere. You can do that. Mary Karugia says hello to my sister Sarah. She is such an inspiration to many. I want to also say Wamboi Roda Kamau, thank you so much. Jane Wayman Kamau Maina says adoption from Kenya is like a needle in a haystack. We're going to discuss that issue. Yeah, we're going to discuss that issue. And I know Diana Kamande is somewhere. And I know she can be able to take over that particular discussion also and liaise with the others. Diana Kamande, HSC, I know we can be able to do this. Jeshi Mwangi joining from New Jersey. Thanks, Captain, for hosting Sarah. We are going to get Sarah almost every now and then until we get going. We have Kenyan leaders who are doing a lot. Teresa Njoroge appreciates and says she is authentic and lovely. Her passion for the youth is real. It is important to appreciate this. And let us tell her now that she can hear. Let us tell her now that she can hear, so that she can be able to champion more. Solomon Makomi is in Thailand. Thank you so much. Dr. Jen Irongo, you know you're my hero and I love you so much. And says true, advocacy and lobbying for our collective interests. Starbucks is one of those companies that exploit coffee farmers in Kenya.
Yeah.
And here we cannot be able to speak about it because we are not united. And when somebody goes to speak to them, goes to speak as an individual and gets some interests taken care of, at the end of the day, he forgets or she forgets. Hiya, New Jersey. Kamau Maina, thank you so much. We lobby for our nation. And then Kamau says, most of us in our generation, parents and teachers, instilled a fear in our lives which carried with us till today. Our kids today call it as it is with no fear, and we have to be at their level of reasoning to understand them. A very true observation. Thank you, Dr. Diangui. I hope you got my message. Cecilia Ndegwa of Optiven, thank you so much. Garuya Junior, King of Kegosho, asante sana. Welcome, my brother. Soon we are going to have you here and you lead Kegosho. Teresa Jambi. Now, another hero in the Diaspora One Voice. You know, Raf Kilondu. With all the captains in his house right now. He's one of the guests who had come here earlier, doing a great job. Raf Kilondu, we need to come back and do another show. Simon Jogona, thank you so much. Dr. Irongo says, if you are raising kids, they are your number one responsibility. God has entrusted you the responsibility of raising them and guiding them to thrive and flourish. Maploti and Namashamba will come gradually. That is a deep truth. Thank you so much. Teresa, thank you so much. Tell me about it. Once my parents passed away, I no longer have interest with Kenya. Faith J. Kush says, spit it out, Sarah. And then I wind up with this comment from Mary Motori. Says, very important, that statement of parents spending time with their children. They grow very, very, very fast. Teresa Njoroge, thank you so much. Shairo Wadi, thank you. Diana, asante sana. And all these other comments, I can see them. I can see them. Monica Bukinya, James Mary, and Mogo from Cayman Island. Zipi Kirango from Canada, thank you so much. Karo Kwina, Misha Worker, Indiana. Thank you so much. I feel so good to see all of you. Jane Moshene Mom from Massachusetts. Thank you. Kikonyo K. Simon from the Republic of Kenya. Nyeri, loud and clear. This is interesting. Now, as we come to a conclusion, because we are just about to conclude, Sarah is a powerhouse. She is representing us greatly. Thank you so much. Nyam Nyams, she's our secretary in the Trumpet of Hope Ministry, and she is doing a very good job, and she says great information. She's a mother and living in Pennsylvania. Yeah, great job, my dear sister. I know firsthand your passion to your young ones. Nora Mo, thank you so much. Karoshi, thank you, Sarah. Jane Wayman, hello, my sister Sarah.
Hello.
Wonderful. Gladys, thank you. Penny Pesh, thank you. Nasara, I have a teenager. So there's a lot. Tuko Sana, thank you. Good. Now, I want you to, as we prepare for Mankush, I told you that we are having a guest immediately after this. We are having Mankush all the way from Kenya. And I can see he is awake, and you told me that you want to listen. And I know people are waiting, are also getting all set to listen to Mankush too. This is the Trumpet of Hope as we conclude this particular program. Maybe there are 2-3 points that you would not wish to leave behind as we prepare for the next program. Please take up.
First, I would like to thank you a lot, very much, for allowing me to come to your show today. It's a great pleasure for me to be here at representing One Voice Consortium and also Epad. Second, I would like to encourage all the parents to get in touch with us. If you have a teenager, if you have any child who is from 5th grade and up, would like to get your email address, you can set it on the email that we have on the screen. We also have a Facebook page, Epad.generation. We have Instagram, Epad_generation. Follow us and support us. We cannot do the work that is out there by ourselves. Currently, we are looking to work with people in different states just to help us get the word out when we have an event, so that we can be able to reach as many kids as possible. We can also reach as many parents as possible. So if you're out there and you'd like to work with us, please get in touch. And that's my email right there. Get in touch with us. Third, obviously, I would like to thank my team. I have a great team that I'm working with in Epad. Great team that has been there for since when we started 2 years ago. They are parents that we just volunteer. It's Epad. It's a non-profit, so it's just all giving to the community, and we meet very often so that we can be able to put the programs together, and we can be able to figure out what do we put first, because the need is there, and it's a huge need. So we want to work with the parents, and I'm so glad that I'm in this show because I get to meet a lot of people. Some of you, I know you, some I don't, but from now, this day, I'll call you my friends because now I've known you.
Thank you so much.
On February 28th, we have an event. We have great speakers. Dr. Jenny Logo and Dr. Peter Diangui will be among our speakers. And we are inviting the parents, and together with the students from middle school to high school. If you have a child, or if you have a friend who has a child or a neighbor, invite them. All African kids, African parents and their kids, they are all invited. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Sarah, and your team because of coming. I also want to appreciate Robert Shiri Daktari and the One Voice Diaspora Consortium for making sure that we get these great people. By the way, there was somebody who was asking about the Bob Mweti, the Kenya Airlift program. I want you to go back to our YouTube channel or even our Facebook page. Make sure that you like, you click, you follow, and you put the notification bell on so that anytime we go live, you can be able to get this program. If you have your child in Kenya or any other student who wish to come and study in the US, in these well-known universities, then you need to talk to Bob Mweti. He was one of my guests the other day, and let me tell you, a lot of wisdom and a lot of hope and a lot of encouragement for the Kenyan people. As we prepare for Mankush, it is Love Weekend. And I know, and you promised me that you're going to say something about that. So let me just breathe in and out, and I give you a minute to conclude with that particular message, remembering that we are in that Valentine season, and you can say a few words as Mankush prepares.
I obviously cannot beat Mankush. I know you have a great topic message with Valentine. For me, I am just a lady. I have been married for 21 years, and I cannot wait for Valentine because every year it's different. And I get what I don't ask, but most of it, I get a lot of love from my husband, from my kids. It's a beautiful day. I'm really truly looking forward to that day on Sunday. And one thing I would like to encourage parents and not parents, women and men. I know majority of us, there are some of us who are not married, and we're not by choice. You'd like to get married. But I was just reading a book the other day, and there was a story about a person who was told to go in a wheat plantation and pick the longest wheat. And that is what the master wanted. Mm-hmm. And so he went to the plantation and he couldn't find a long wheat. He found one, and then he kept on walking and found there was another one which was longer than the other one. And eventually he came home without one. And he was told, that's how love is. That's how marriage life is. If you're looking for a perfect one, you'll never find. So find somebody that you can build a life together, you can work with, you will love. And because love continues. After marriage, love continues. Working together continues. And so I wish everyone a very happy and lovely Valentine's Day. Get all the love you can get. Give all the love you can give. For me, I will be giving and expecting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a very good night, and God bless you so much.
Thank you.
And for people who would wish to communicate to you or with you, all the numbers or the contacts are right on the screen. Let me just give it back there. That is the Empowering People of African Descent, Epad, and the email address is right there, and that is important. So thank you so much, and have a very, very, very good night. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for commenting and for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Safari, feel a bountiful safari, see safari, feel a bountiful safari, bountiful, Mombasa, bountiful, Mauritius, and to all the destinations, bountiful, Mombasa, Dubai, Mauritius, and to all the destinations. Bountiful safari, dream, explore, discover.